finished up my cardio in third space, stretches, all the boring stuff, and now going to muscle works for my weightlifting session. I gotta say, I love that gym. They let you film, you shit off, anything goes. Plus the equipment is truly top notch. Today we're doing shoulders, haven't done shoulders in a minute. I do front delts a lot, but I don't do any actual shoulders because I hit chest multiple times in the week. But I don't do shoulders as often as I should be doing. I think it's because I've been off my routine for a good minute now, which I shouldn't be. I've been with the flow and freestyling a bit too much. And that's a big mistake a lot of intermediate lifters do that keeps them in the intermediate zone and stopping them from becoming truly advanced. So you're getting a shoulder workout, got a nice juicy pump, then straight home to get on with some work.
I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream, but now I have some clarity to show you what I mean. I don't know how I got this way, I'll never be alright, so I'm breaking habits.
Never was a thought, just infatuated with guns. Never was a gangster till I graduated to one and got the rap of a villain, the weapon concealing. Took the image of a thought, captured a villain, willing to stick out my neck for respect. If it meant life or death, never lived to regret what I said. When you're me, people just wanna see if it's true, if it's you. What you say in your raps, what you do, so they feel it's part of your obligation to fulfill. When they see you on the streets, face to face, and you're for real. The confrontation ain't no conversation if you feel you're in violation. Any hesitation to get you killed. If you feel it, kill it. You conceal it, reveal it. Being reasonable will leave you full of bullets. Pull it, squeeze until it's empty. Tempt me, push me, pussies. I need a good reason to give this trigger a good squeeze.
I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream, but now I have some clarity to show you what I mean. I don't know how I got this way, I'll never be alright, so I'm breaking habits tonight.
Don't your hand this time, I'll save myself. Maybe I'll wake up for once, not tormented daily, defeated by you. Just when I thought I'd reached the bottom, blurring and stirring the truth and the lies. Always confusing the thoughts in my head, so I can't trust myself anymore. I
don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream, but now I have some clarity to show you what I mean. I don't know how I got this way, I'll never be alright, so I'm breaking habits tonight.
I be in the people all up in the lobby. Not Illuminati, this is neo-literati. Ripping army here behind me, kid, don't even try me. Atom bombing anybody, word to pen and Bobby. Let the smoke blow, get the brew spilling. Debut a new villain like Ren and Doom chilling. My shoes are too winning for you to cruise in them. Timeless cool like blue denim, I'm losing them. And these are just the flows that I was saving ever since the days of Pac-Man and at the days, and I've been paving ways for them to make a basic conversation. The only Asian race in healthcare in Copenhagen. Okay, I'm having over math and Japanese.
There we go. Oh, I love a good pump. So we just finished at Muscleworks gym, had a nice, beautiful shoulder session and got some nice good posing practice in as well. I realized my body is extremely stiff because I was doing those kneeling stretches and my lower body, hamstrings, abductors, adductors were stretched like crazy. You might not heard it in the video because the music's playing over it. But I was there like, about to break down any second. I was surprised nothing tore. But today, for the 75 Hard book study, I want to go over a book called The Courage to Be Happy. Now, this book is a sequel to a book called The Courage to Be Disliked, and both books are based on a psychologist called Alfred Adler. Now, Alfred Adler specialized in Adlerian psychology, named after him, Adlerian, that got popularized, I believe, in the late 90s, early 2000s, might be a decade off. And the book talks about the concepts. Actually, I've written some notes here to make it easy to explain. So Adlerian psychology is the belief that all of life's problems can easily be fixed and are only complex because we believe them to be so, with the only required solution being the courage to be disliked by other people, the name of the first book. And a good way to explain that is a lot of research shows, and I'm sure you probably know this if you're watching these kind of videos, all our actions that humans do are motivated by either A, increases our chances of survival, or B, increases our chances of attracting a mate. So if there's an action that we do that we believe to lower these chances, for example, say you're a guy, there's a girl you like, you want to ask her out, she's like a classmate or whatever, but you just get to approach her, reason being could be because you just get to approach, because then you might get rejected, your friends make fun of you, and then you think that might put you in a lower place in the social hierarchy, and then your brain associates your social status with your chances of survival. Therefore, you want to avoid it because the brain has two main roles: avoiding pain and solving problems. And he does that in order to increase your chances of survival or attracting a mate. These are the main things the brain does. But if you're somehow able to override that and get to a point where being disliked by others is no longer a factor, because that's almost like a built-in setting you have as a human being. Because back in the caveman days, if you were disliked by other people, you're dead. Like big fucking Kronk or whatever caveman names, whatever names cavemen have. If he disliked you, he'll just stab you. So things worked back then. They were in tribes, because you were wolves, they were like snow seasons, stuff like that. But we're now 3,000 years past that, and we're at a point where if someone doesn't like you, it's fine. They're not gonna kill you. There's laws and stuff, there's police, etc. So he believes that people that are able to override that, to condition themselves in a way to operate in a position where they do not care if other people dislike them, were able to be significantly happier, because now they're operating from a frequency that's operating from a place on trying to make themselves in the best position in life possible, rather than from a place on avoiding discomforts. Hopefully that made sense. I'm trying to explain it because it's a very complex topic. And what he states is that the only difference between happy people and unhappy people is the choice of change. You always know other people tend to do the same choices every single day, same job, the same routines and daily habits, and you might attempt a change. Let's say on New Year's, a fat guy wants to go to the gym, get into shape, change his life, and if they make that change, if they make that choice of change and they commit to it and able to persevere through it, then they will be able to put themselves in a position where they are much happier because they chose to change. And that applies to all areas of life: social areas, business areas, career areas, love interests, etc. All of them require a choice of change in order for you to be fulfilled, in order to be happy. But change is difficult because when you try and change yourself, you are going uphill, because your brain has, let's say you're 20 years old. It has 20 years of stored memories and experiences of the kind of person you believe you are. That's your subconscious, what it thinks you are. For example, for me, my brain thinks, okay, I'm Mustafa, I'm the guy who goes to the gym, I'm the dude who wakes up at 5 a.m., etc. Your brain will have an identity that it associates yourself with. So when you try and change, you're going to try and avoid that. Going, oh, let's say that, back to the fat guy example. Okay, oh, we'll go to the gym. Oh, wait, Steve, we don't go to the gym. We eat pizza and go to work and drink wine. It's not our thing, because you are now trying to go against all the 20 years, all the built-up experiences and the identity that your subconscious associates with. Because you gotta realize that most of your actions are actually driven by your subconscious, roughly 90%. Only 10% of your actions are actually conscious actions that you do. The rest are just done automatically. Because like I mentioned, one of the brain's main roles is to conserve energy. And it does that by being heavily automated. So we try to make a change, like Adler said, which change is required to be happy. you're going uphill. It becomes very, very difficult. And the next thing I've written down is the controversy in the phrase happiness is a choice. Because if happiness is a choice, then surely just choose to be happy, boom, done. But that doesn't really apply because, like I said, there's friction there. Because you choose to be happy, but the actions that make you happy might be something that directly goes against the identity that you place yourself under. And you might be thinking, okay, then what is the solution to this? The way Adler says is one of the ways you can stop your past from affecting you is by consciously choosing not to, which over time will become a subconscious action that happens automatically. So at the beginning, let's say you are using conscious effort to make your past actions not affect your present and future actions. But the more you do it, the more you try and go uphill against that friction, it gets less and less steep till eventually you choosing to operate based on logic or based on your present state rather than your built up subconscious becomes automatic in itself because that thing becomes part of your subconscious. And the way the book is formatted, it's not just a book where you read point A, point B, point C, or just case study. It's actually a conversation between a philosopher and a student. The philosopher is someone who has a very good understanding of Adlerian psychology, and the student is a normal dude who doesn't get it and goes and just has no idea how to fathom it. And they go back and forth. The student offers counter arguments on why he believes Adlerian psychology is BS, but then the philosopher gives him civilized counter arguments to why perhaps the student doesn't want to choose to believe Adlerian psychology. Because the idea that happiness is a choice, it's something you choose to do, kind of makes you past 20, 30 years, however old you are, of like pain or depression or whatever thing you went through or going through, pointless, because then you kind of want to admit that you could have been happy the past the whole time. So the brain will kind of choose to be depressed just to get proven wrong. It's a very weird format that the brain is wired in. But the book is phenomenal. I recommend you read the first one, The Courage to be Disliked. I'll have a red circle instead of yellow. And one of the most fascinating concepts about this book is how the brain lies to you to achieve a false goal. I'm not getting into that too much because it's kind of an entire separate section of Adlerian psychology. But for an example, the example the book gives is someone who has social anxiety. And that person, he wants to get a job, wants to be a member of society, wants to be, like a go-getter. But the whole time, he's not able to because he goes out and just is like crazy, like where's the me? He just unable to function, speaks to people, and just stays a shut-in. He's just a complete shut-in, never goes outside. And what the philosopher says in counter to this is that friend, on a subconscious level, chose to be a shut-in, chose to have the social anxiety. Because like I mentioned, the brain wants to avoid pain. And a reason that this person who has this condition might have it is because he doesn't want to get a job. He doesn't want to just get a 9 to 5, become the cog in the wheel, just become, wake up, go to work, come back home. He'd rather just stay home and do nothing. Because let's face it, most of us don't really want to work, but we do it because we got to make a living. So he's saying his brain, to avoid the pain of work, to avoid that, he instead gave him this brain gave him social anxiety, so he would avoid that and achieve his goal of not having to work. His brain found the easiest path to achieve that target without any friction. But then there's the obvious side effect of that is that, well, now he can't go outside at all, which is even worse pain. And that's how we and it's a very complex topic. I'm trying my best to explain it. I might not be doing the best job. I think that's like its own video for episode 3 or 4, 75 hard. But the first part about subconscious and conscious, that's very interesting to you. I'll put a link in the description for a YouTuber called John Gab, who talks about this so much, and he's much more knowledgeable about it than I am. If you're interested in that, do check him out. But honestly, it's a phenomenal book. I recommend you read it. I'm about to get started editing this video, but before I take the SD card out, let me just record the outro. I'm going to edit this video, and then I'm also going to be scripting tomorrow's video, which is recipes for high protein, low calorie diets that I've been going on. So be on the lookout for that. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. If you can subscribe, it'll be greatly appreciated. Like as well, doesn't cost you a thing, really helps me out. And as usual, thank you for your time and attention. It's a valuable resource and I appreciate you giving it to me. Take care. Capiche?